Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you guys just a little update on Litecoin. And first of all, guys, I'm dealing with some sickness here, so if I sound a little crazy, I apologize, but we're going to get through this today. So if you could like, subscribe, all that, guys, really hit it. And I also wanted to ask you a quick question. Are you guys still in Litecoin right now? Have you guys been wanting to trade Litecoin? Are you guys buying Litecoin to hold at these prices? Let me know what you guys are doing. I really appreciate it. So guys, wanted to show you something here. In my honest opinion, Litecoin, the reason why we're dealing with this correction, obviously, you know, the whole market as a whole is dealing with this as well, Bitcoin and all that, but especially Litecoin with all the good news, the adoption, the UFC, all that type of stuff, guys. You got to remember in a bear market that great news doesn't really change the price. If the UFC news would have came during a bull market, Litecoin could have ran $100 in a night. I mean, that's just the difference of it, which obviously we'd have a pullback a little bit after that, but it would have made a run, you know, something like this, guys, where you just really run up and then you fall back down a lot of the times. But in this bear market, we didn't move much, and what I wanted to show you is we never should have had this parabolic move right here. We almost have to take that out of the charts in a way. So I believe the true price that Litecoin should have gotten to during this last cycle that we went through was around that $104. Okay, do you see all this where we were building up and then we had that parabolic run? And what I've been reading about is basically these bull runs. You see how we're just steadily moving up here? So we'll say it started, well, let's go even April. Let's just say April, guys. So from April till December, so that's all April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So almost 9 months, guys. You can see the gains. We were just steady. We were making higher highs, higher lows. We were moving up. We weren't having massive gains, massive losses. We had a little run here, but we came back down. But this, you see how it just went straight up, guys. That is the telltale sign to get the heck out of there. Okay? Take your profits. It went straight up. Whenever you go straight up like that, you're going to have that straight down. And that's what a lot of us didn't understand, and that's why, you know, we've been studying so hard and paying attention to this stuff, guys. And you can just see we've been making lower high after lower high after lower high, and that's just been happening. So right even to there. So until we make that higher high, guys, we're not going to be moving a ton in Litecoin. That's so important. We have made a higher low, which is great, but we want to make that higher high. Now if we throw a Fibonacci on this, take it all the way back to right here, guys. We are sitting right on the 0.93%, so that's a 93% correction, guys. And that's why I feel like we are getting at least closer to the bottom. I don't know if we're there yet, but we're getting closer to the bottom, guys. There's not a ton more to retrace. I mean, we're even down to in this first wave here, guys, where this first little bit came in and we kind of even started this bull run. We're at that point right now, so there's been that many gains that have been lost, and we're extremely oversold, guys. You know, just in terms of being 93% down. So, you know, we really have to keep our eye on this stuff. But the main thing that I want to see are these trend line breaks. Like, I really want to break out of this downtrend, guys. I mean, we can even put it, so let's go from the very top here, guys. And it said that we got all the way up to $422, and look where we're sitting at now. And that's the importance of taking profits. But look how steep this drop is. I mean, you could even put it right there where we had maybe just a little bit of a sideways breakout. Or we're going to put it right here. Still got work to do. You know, that one's kind of steep, but, you know, guys, this has been one heck of a fall if we look at this in terms of percentage. So if you wanted to start going long and accumulate, guys, this isn't financial advice, but you're down 93% from an all-time high. So, you know, this isn't a terrible time to slowly start dollar cost averaging in if you plan on holding this for the next few years. But think, guys, look what we lost. How much percentage? Over $387, guys, and 92%. I mean, that's worse than what the Great Depression crash was, essentially. So that's why I did that video yesterday. If you haven't checked it out, that video about the Great Depression and Bitcoin and comparing all of it to each other. But we've learned so much from this, guys, and that's what I wanted to bring to you, and that's why I really want to pay attention to Litecoin here and just look at a few different things. You know, really pay attention to volume. What I do like, though, is we have more volume than we've seen coming in at this area here. Do you see how empty this was for a long time? Even on some of these reactions here where we had a nice little run up here, we didn't have near as much volume as what we're dealing with here. So that could be a good sign, guys. Now, I want to zoom in, and this is on the 12-hour chart, guys. Just so you know. I do believe we broke our trend line. We'll have to see here, because this was the trend line that I was paying a lot of attention to. About right in there. So guys, what we're going to have to see is if we stay outside of this and we break further down, or if we're going to bounce back up in here and close in here, which would be very important. But guys, I really do like this reversal that we have had, because it did come on some volume. Here's our high, higher low, then we had a lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low, then we broke out to a higher high, which was great. Okay, in the macro we haven't seen a higher high yet, but on this trend we did, guys. And then we're seeing a higher low still being formed here. So that's what we want to pay attention to, because this is still in play right now. We have to keep that in mind, that a lot of times, guys, when you have trend line breaks, sometimes they can just continue to run. Other times you'll break down, then you'll come back up and test it, and then you'll go back down. You can make a lower low. So it is still possible, guys, that this is our lower high from here, and then we could make a lower low down in here, and it could be another great buying opportunity. But we're just so oversold at this point, guys. I mean, we're 93 whatever % down. So, you know, smart money is going to be looking to get into this soon if they haven't already got into it soon. A lot of times smart money picks up, guys. So right here, smart money was picking up. That's what had that little reaction. Then we came back down more. Accumulation here. We came back up, came back down, a little more accumulation. Then we made a little run up. Guys, it almost looks like, you know, that head and shoulders that we had, that we broke out of it. But what happened? We came back and we were testing this neckline here. So here would be our neckline for looking at this. About right there, and we broke back down through it. So that's why I said the importance of getting back up above this, so we can still have a shot at it to maybe run to that 41 again, which we did wick up to, and then maybe around that $48-50 mark would be an area that I'd be looking at as well. But let's check the stock RSI real quick while we're at it. I just want to kind of see this momentum that's taking place. And guys, tell me what you've been doing with Litecoin. Are you guys still hodling at this point? Have you guys been slowly accumulating, dollar cost averaging in? What are you guys doing with Litecoin? I really want your opinion. Are you in all cash right now waiting for that next big drop to come? Because guys, it could happen. It could happen. So we got to be prepared for that. But take a look at this on the 12-hour. This is good that we're at the bottom here of this stock. See if we can start to flip over a little bit. Let's look at it on the 1 day, see how it's looking. So on the 1 day, guys, it's not looking the best here, starting to just go straight down. So we have to pay attention to that, but that's probably from that move yesterday that we saw like that. So we want to keep that in mind. Then let's look at the 4-hour. So 4-hour, it is starting to cross, guys. So there is potential that we may be able to get back up into this trend line and let this keep forming. Okay, because Litecoin was kind of leading the market. And that's what it is, guys. It's all about who can identify these trends, even on the short term, the quickest. Because look at the gains that were able to be made when people bought down in here. So if we take our price range tool and we go up, these are big gains, guys. 88% you could have made if you got in early, you know, around that $20 or whatnot, if you were able to buy that. And some of the clues to be able to buy that were the volume coming in. You just could see that reversal. We also had a little bit of a trend line break, like we want to pay attention to, guys. So you see this right here, kind of had that little trend line break out there, and then we started moving to the upside. And then, guys, this is where I said the trend lines and all that. And then you could even take this, guys. We'd go right here, and what happened there when the trend line broke? It went back down. Right? So that's what we want to look for, guys. We really want to pay attention to these trend lines. Even on the long term, the short term, they're very, very powerful indicators. Or not even indicators, I'm sorry. Just a very, very strong technical tool that you're able to use. All right, guys. Then monster resistance for us. The really strong resistance that is going to have to, that we're going to have to get over at some point is going to be around that $56. I'd love to see us get back up above that, guys, and just start moving. But, you know, in this market, we have to be very, very patient, because it has just been lower high after lower high after lower high. You can see the stock down here, guys. So got to keep an eye on that on the 4-hour. And let's just look at this one more time on the week. I want to see the weekly chart. Excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. Just not feeling good today. but I wanted to get this in. It's important. Getting a little alert on Zcash there, guys. Okay. Might be making that move. Alright, guys, so on the weekly, another thing I wanted you to pick out here on the weekly are really paying attention to these candles. Right here, guys, take a look at this candle. In 1 week, went from $381 to $146. That's a wild move. And then we closed up here, but you can see all the stops getting hunted, all that type of stuff. I want to point out the lower highs right there. Boom, boom, boom. So until that's broken, you know, that's what you really want to keep your eye on. Okay? It's very important to pay attention to those lower highs and make sure they're broken, because look at the opposite, guys. See the highs getting higher? Then we really, I mean, it was just a parabolic run, guys. We all should have known that it was going to come down after that. We had the tweezer tops here, so it's always important to look at the 1 week. We had those tweezer tops here. We had this bearish candle here that's like a massive, massive spinning top almost. Then we had our big fall. Then we had our reaction there. A lot of guys got out around in here. That would have been a smart place to get out. You had that doji candle here that told us to get out. That was a big deal. Guys, one more thing I wanted to look at here. It's just the Bollinger Bands. See what it looked like on here. Because we are starting to get in that tightening. They expand. You see really large expansion when you move really fast. We were outside of the Bollinger Band, so that's another sign to take profit, guys. And now we're getting squeezed. We're starting to have that squeezing effect, which means we're either going to break to the upside or we're going to break to the downside soon. You got to watch these inside bars, basically, what's forming right here. Okay, we got our moving average, the middle moving average right above here that we have to pay attention to, and then our bottom is going to be around that 21, 22. But these bars are really thin, guys, and we got to pay attention to which way they're going to break. Okay, so that's what I wanted to bring to you on Litecoin, guys, and this is why I said no FOMO. When it got up to $40, guys, I missed the move up to that. I was not FOMOing into Litecoin. I promise you that. And the reason I wasn't FOMOing is because, guys, Bitcoin controls everything, and you really have to pay attention to Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin's, you know, not doing its thing and going up, it's going to drag everything down, because I truly believe if Litecoin was by itself and it wasn't dependent on Bitcoin, we would have broken out of that head and shoulders. And guys, we probably wouldn't have even dropped this low in terms of 93%, because there's been a lot of great things that have happened for Litecoin. So guys, keep this in mind. Let's pay attention to the volume. Let's keep our eye on Litecoin, and you guys let me know what you got happening on Litecoin. I just wanted to bring a little update for you, and then this is what we're also going to want to watch. Take this trend line here. See if we can hold that, guys. Okay? God bless each and every one of you. Take care.